A soccer ball is kicked across the field. The origin is at the center of the field. At time 0 seconds, the ball is observed to be at location vector 10 in the x direction, 0 in the y direction, -5 in the z direction. At time 2 seconds, the ball is observed to be at -15 in the x direction, 0 in the y direction, and 12 in the x direction. So first we're going to be finding the average velocity of the ball. To find the average velocity, you do the change in r over the change in t. So right here, I've done the change in r's. So -15 minus 10 in the x, 0 minus 0 in the y, and 12 plus 5 in the z. And then you do the change in time, which is your final, which is 2 minus 0 seconds. So I've got -25, 0, 17 meters for the vector, and then the change in time is 2, so I'm going to divide each x, y, and z component by 2. This is going to give me an average velocity of -12.5 in the x direction, 0 in the y direction, and 8.5 in the z direction, and that's going to be in meters per second. Next, we're going to do the magnitude of the average velocity. So magnitude is going to be the square root of the x component squared plus the y component squared plus the z component squared. So we have -12.5 squared plus 0 squared plus 8.5 squared. So we take the square root of that. When you do that, you get a magnitude of 15.12 meters. And then we next have our unit vector in the direction of the velocity. So we're going to use our answers from part 1 and part 2 to get our unit vector. And we have -12.5 in the x, 0 in the y, and 8.5 in the z. We're going to divide that by the magnitude we got in part 2 by 15.12. So we divide each component by 15.12, and we get a unit vector of -0.83 in the x, 0 in the y, and 0.56 in the z. And a unit vector does not have units.